The bitter December wind howled through the Manhattan streets like a wounded animal, but 7-year-old Emma refused to let go of her father's hand. She'd seen something that had frozen her small heart more thoroughly than any winter storm could touch her body. "Daddy, her baby is freezing." Marcus Chen stopped mid-stride, his expensive overcoat whipping around his legs. He'd been mentally rehearsing tomorrow's board meeting, calculating quarterly projections, thinking about everything except the present moment. But his daughter's trembling voice cut through the noise of his thoughts like a knife through silk. "Emma, we need to get home. It's too cold. Daddy, please." Her dark eyes, so much like her late mother's, brimmed with tears that had nothing to do with the wind. "The baby doesn't even have a blanket." Marcus followed his daughter's gaze to a recessed doorway between a closed boutique and a coffee shop. Huddled in the shadows sat a young woman, maybe 25, with hollow cheeks and desperate eyes. In her arms, wrapped in what looked like a thin sweater, was an infant. The baby's lips had a bluish tint that made Marcus's stomach clench. He'd walked past homeless people 1,000 times. New York was full of them. He donated to charities, paid his taxes, told himself he was doing his part. But he'd never really stopped. Never really looked. Not until his 7-year-old daughter forced him to see what he'd been training himself to ignore. "Just 1 minute," he heard himself say. Emma's face lit up like Times Square at midnight. She pulled him toward the doorway, her small boots splashing through slush. Up close, Marcus could see the young mother was shaking violently, her arms wrapped protectively around her child even as her own body surrendered to the cold. "Excuse me," Marcus said softly, crouching down. The woman's eyes snapped to his, filled with a mixture of fear and exhaustion. "My daughter noticed your baby. Do you need help?" The woman's laugh was bitter and broken. "Everyone needs help, mister. Most people just keep walking." "What's your name?" Emma asked, ignoring her father's hand on her shoulder. "Sarah." The answer came reluctantly. "And this is Michael. He's 3 months old. He's beautiful," Emma whispered. Then, before Marcus could stop her, she unwrapped her own pink scarf and held it out. "For the baby." Sarah stared at the scarf like it was made of gold. Her hands trembled as she reached for it, then stopped. "I can't, your daughter needs." "I have another one at home," Emma lied with the confident ease of childhood. "Lots of them." Marcus felt something crack inside his chest, some wall he'd built brick by brick since his wife died 2 years ago. Sarah took the scarf with shaking hands and wrapped it around little Michael. The baby made a small sound, nestling into the warmth. "Thank you," Sarah whispered. "You have no idea. Where are you staying?" Marcus asked, though he already knew the answer. "Here. Wherever. The shelters are full, and they won't take us because Michael's so small. They say I need medical clearance, but I can't afford a doctor, and I can't get medical clearance without." Her voice broke. "I'm sorry. You don't need to hear this." Marcus looked at his daughter, whose small hand had found Sarah's free one. Emma was holding it, patting it the way she did when her stuffed animals were sad. In that moment, Marcus saw his late wife so clearly it hurt. Rachel would have never walked past. Rachel would have stopped for every person, every animal, every broken thing that needed mending. "Daddy, we have to help." Emma's voice was quiet but certain. "Mommy would want us to help." The words hit him like a physical blow. He closed his eyes, and when he opened them, he wasn't Marcus Chen, CEO of Chen Innovations, worth $70 million on paper. He was just a father trying to teach his daughter what mattered in the world. "How long since you've eaten?" he asked Sarah. I don't. There's a diner 2 blocks from here. Let's get you both somewhere warm." Sarah's eyes filled with tears. "I don't have money for." "I'm buying," Marcus said firmly. "Please. It's freezing, and my daughter won't sleep tonight if we don't make sure you and Michael are okay." The next hour passed in a blur. The diner's warmth made Sarah shake harder at first as her body remembered what he'd felt like. Marcus ordered soup, sandwiches, hot chocolate. Emma sat next to Sarah, chattering about her school, her goldfish, her favorite books, filling the scared silence with the fearless kindness of childhood. Between bites, Sarah's story emerged. A boyfriend who'd disappeared when she got pregnant. Parents who'd disowned her. A job lost, an apartment lost, a cascade of bad luck and worse choices until she'd ended up in that doorway with nothing but her son and a prayer. "I'm not a bad person," she whispered, tears streaming down her face. "I'm trying so hard. I don't know what to do anymore. Marcus felt his own eyes burning. When had he become so blind? When had success insulated him from seeing the fragile edge where people balanced between making it and falling into the abyss? Daddy's really good at solving problems, Emma announced, sipping her hot chocolate with a milk mustache. He can fix anything. I don't think, Sarah started. My company has an emergency housing fund for employees and their families, Marcus interrupted, his mind already racing. We partner with a family shelter in Brooklyn. It's clean, safe, they have medical staff on site. I can make a call. I'm not your employee. You could be. We need someone in our mailroom. It's entry level, but it has full benefits, including healthcare for you and Michael. You'd have to work for it, but. Are you serious? Sarah's voice cracked. You don't even know me. I could be lying. I could be. You're a mother trying to protect her child, Marcus said quietly. That's all I need to know. 20 minutes later, Marcus had made 4 phone calls. The shelter had a room. The job was real, pending a background check. A doctor friend agreed to see Michael tomorrow, no charge. Sarah sat frozen, staring at him like he'd performed a miracle. Why? She finally asked. Why would you do this for a stranger? Marcus looked at his daughter, who'd fallen asleep against his side, exhausted by emotion and excitement. 2 years ago, my wife died. Cancer. It was fast and brutal and it left Emma and me alone in the world. I threw myself into work because I didn't know how else to survive. I stopped seeing people. I stopped feeling. Tonight, my daughter reminded me that we're all one bad day, one piece of bad luck, one tragedy away from needing someone to stop and help. He wiped his eyes roughly. You're not a stranger. You're someone's daughter. You're Michael's whole world. And maybe we're supposed to help each other. Maybe that's the whole point. Sarah was crying openly now, clutching her baby. I'll pay you back. I swear I'll pay it forward, Marcus interrupted. When you're back on your feet, when you see someone who needs help, you stop. You help. That's all I ask. The taxi ride to the shelter was quiet. Emma woke up long enough to hug Sarah goodbye, making her promise to bring Michael to visit. Sarah held the little girl like she was something precious, whispering thank you over and over until the words lost meaning. Later, tucking Emma into bed, Marcus kissed her forehead. I'm proud of you, sweetheart. You saw someone who needed help, and you didn't look away. Mommy used to say that's what heroes do, Emma murmured sleepily. They just see people who need help and they help them. Your mom was right, Daddy. Emma's eyes were already closing. Are we heroes? Marcus thought about Sarah's face when she realized she and Michael would sleep somewhere warm tonight. He thought about how close he'd come to walking past, to teaching his daughter that success meant insulation from other people's pain. No, baby. We're just people trying to do better. But maybe that's enough. As he turned off the light, Marcus felt something shift inside him. Tomorrow he'd follow up, make sure Sarah got to her interview, check on Michael's doctor appointment. He'd look into expanding the company's assistance programs. He'd stop walking past. Because a 7-year-old girl had refused to let the world's coldness freeze her heart, and in saving a stranger, she'd saved her father too.